Hi guys! How are you today? Welcome back to my channel, Adventures in America. If you are new to my channel, my name is Jocelyn and I'm a dual citizen of the United States and the Philippines. Before we get started, please like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. If you recently traveled in the Philippines, please share your travel experience and tell us what you think of the travel restrictions. Let's get started. First of all, there's a lot of things going on in the Philippines right now. There are flight cancellations. There is a surge in COVID cases. Philippines recorded the highest daily COVID-19 cases on March 19. The Philippines recorded 7,103 new coronavirus cases on Friday, a record daily increase in infections. A new wave of cases in the Philippines, which has the second highest number of COVID-19 infections and deaths in Southeast Asia, is threatening hopes of a strong economic rebound after a record contraction last year and the loss of millions of jobs. And also, there are travel restrictions that were newly imposed this week. I'm going to discuss these travel restrictions and how it will affect those passengers that were already booked this month of March up to the month of April. Now, let's go over the new travel restrictions that were issued this week. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's really short notice, especially for those passengers who are already booked. There was a Memorandum Circular issued by the National Task Force Against COVID-19. It was issued on March 16, and it will be effective on March 20 until the 19th of April. The Memorandum Circular was issued due to the significant rise in cases since the start of the year, and also there's a data provided by the Department of Health, and it's stated on the letter C of the memorandum. However, the most important provision is on letter D, which limits the number of inbound international passengers or arrivals to only 1,500 a day, and to temporarily suspend the entry of foreign nationals and returning overseas Filipinos who are non-OFWs beginning the 20th of March until April 19 of this year. But also there are exceptions. Here are the list of exempted from the entry ban in the Philippines. Number 1, holders of 9C visas. Number 2, medical repatriation and their escorts duly endorsed by the DFA or OWA. Number 3, distressed returning overseas Filipinos duly endorsed by DFA. And number 4, emergency, humanitarian, and other analogous cases approved by the National Task Force on COVID-19. And also, there will be passengers who will not be allowed entry, so you will have to rebook your flights, and maybe if you are still pursuing to go to the Philippines, you need to find a good travel date to come. However, everything could change anytime due to the surge in cases. There are lockdowns and there are curfews in place right now. And if you could postpone your travel, and if it's really not essential, just delay your travel for this year. Basically, the travel restrictions issued by the National Task Force on COVID-19 states that it limits the allowed passengers in the Philippines and who may travel. And also the Bureau of Immigration press release changed the entry requirements for those Filipinos that are traveling with their foreign spouse or children. So those foreign spouse or children are now required to get an entry visa. There was a press release issued by the Bureau of Immigration, and it was announced that they will be implementing a resolution from the IATF suspending the travel of foreign nationals into the Philippines. According to Morente, who is the Bureau of Immigration Commissioner, said travel suspension will take effect on Monday and will remain until April 21st. The reason is the surge of cases in the country. And also a similar order was likewise issued by the National Task Force Against COVID-19, which also set a lower cap to the number of arriving passengers. He said that this is a temporary measure following the surge of cases. We believe that this decision of the IATF is necessary to prevent the further spread of the virus. Let's go over the new guidelines. Filipinos, as well as their spouse and children who are traveling with them, will be allowed to enter the country provided that said foreign nationals are able to present a valid and existing visa at the time of entry. So essentially, this suspends the Balikbayan visa program because the foreign spouse and the child must secure a visa abroad. Others allowed to enter are diplomats and members of international organizations and their dependents with a valid 9E visa or 47A2 visa, and foreign seafarers for crew change with valid 9C visas. Also, emergency and humanitarian cases may be allowed to enter as well, as approved by the NTF COVID-19 representative or chairperson. And foreign nationals involved in medical repatriation and must be endorsed by the Department of Foreign Affairs. Based on the press release from the Bureau of Immigration, if you are a Balikbayan, you cannot travel because the Balikbayan visa is now currently suspended based on the travel restrictions that are in place, and you are not considered a Filipino, so that means you are going to need an entry visa. If there is a further clarification from the press release of the Bureau of Immigration, then let's wait and see what's going to happen after the second half of April. But this is just my opinion and based on my analysis on the facts given. Philippines is going to extend these travel restrictions. Previously, I created 2 videos, and the first video that I created is why Philippines has the most restrictive travel restrictions. And also, there is another video that I made, 5 reasons not to travel in the Philippines. It's not because I hate the Philippines, it's because it is too much hassle to travel this year. And we are not sure how long the travel restrictions will be in place. It can be extended or it can totally be changed overnight. So I'm just telling you, if your travel is really not essential, please postpone your travel and just communicate with your loved ones in the Philippines virtually. If you are coming around May or June, just be flexible enough to change the travel dates, or if not totally essential, just postpone your travel in the Philippines. If you recently traveled in the Philippines, please post your travel experience and share what you think about the travel restrictions. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.